What is up, all my hope healers and hope dealers? Welcome to my YouTube channel, my PhD, my prison history diploma. My name is Kim, and I did 10 years and 8 months, and I've been out for over 15 years now. Whoop, whoop, raise the roof. So I wanted to talk to y'all today. I woke up this morning and I woke up hungry, and I started thinking about like food, what I'm gonna have today. There's so many choices here where I live. Fresh fruit walking down the street, tacos everywhere. It's just such a good life. And then I started thinking about taking Teddy to the park, which we already did. I haven't had food yet. That's coming after this video. But then when I took Teddy to the park, I actually started thinking about like how much the staff used food and our canteen, our grocery shopping, as a way to control the incarcerated people's behavior. I think this is something important to put out there, and I'm going to tell you what it looked like during incarceration and what I mean by they had control over our behavior with food. So one of the biggest things that absolutely sticks out is once a week, every prison in the state of Florida, men's units, women's units, and I don't know about other states, but they have this thing where it's a contest on who has the cleanest dorm. And whoever has the cleanest dorm is the first dorm to canteen. So just to explain to you all, canteen is a big deal in incarceration, okay? It's where you get your hygiene, which hygiene you can make it last like 3 months. But the big thing was about canteen is that's where you got your food, like your soups, your canned meats. Just you could put together a spread with the food from the canteen and not have to go to the chow hall. So the chow hall was a hit or miss. There were some good meals, but mostly not. So the canteen was super important. So the way that they were able to control the cleaning habits of the incarcerated people was to have that contest. And with 2,000 people in one prison, being the first dorm out is huge. It's a game changer. It's the difference between being able to eat comfortably and not go to the chow hall on day one when your money rolls over. So your money rolled over, and when I was incarcerated, we could spend $100 a week. On Sundays, you should typically be out of money. On Mondays is when the $100 you would be able to spend again, $100. And that money had to come from the free world. We did not get paid to work. Just so y'all know, not in Florida Department of Corrections, but that's for a whole nother video. But anyway, so being able to be the first to the canteen, the first dorm, was a game changer. Now, also, typically the dorms that won first in place, this is how important food was to us in incarceration, and food that we used to buy. Okay, so this food was super important to us to a point where I was willing, and a lot of people were, this was a big business in prison, just so y'all know, I was willing to buy a spot. So what I mean by that, I'll explain, is typically the first dorm out, the first 20 spots of people were your spot sellers. So what I mean by that is, let's say that somebody has a spot number 3 in the canteen line, my dorm comes out, I go talk to the number 3 person in line, I'm like, yo, how much? The person's like, 2 packs of Newports, 2 packs of Marlboro Lights, whatever they prefer. It's typically cigarettes because they're easily bartered. That's back when we can smoke. And then I just bought that spot in line, boom. It was a big business in there, and me, I was willing to pay that price to get closer to the front of the canteen line, because like I said, it makes a difference if I was gonna eat out of my locker that night with canteen, or barely eat, or maybe even eat nothing. You know, because there were times where I would just rather be hungry than go and eat some of that slop that they tried to serve us. So another way was the fact that if you won that clean dormitory thing, you would also be first to the chow hall. So on like chicken nights, there was one prison that had a catfish farm. So on catfish days, you know, being number 1 out mattered. It mattered if you were gonna get a plate full of food or a little bit smaller portions, it's crazy. But if you think about it, it was a way to control us. And another way to control us is they would kick us out of the chow line, y'all, if we weren't standing straight and behaving. So you'll be standing in chow line and you literally have to be, I mean, you could talk quietly, but if it got too loud and they kicked you out of the chow line, you weren't eating that day. That is my experience in at least 2 prisons. Now, not all of them were like that, but there were 2, and not all officers were like that either, but there were a lot of jerks that used the chow hall food to control us, and then if you didn't do exactly what they said, boop, you weren't eaten for that meal, which is just absolutely, ugh. But anyway, so that was one way. Now, another way that they controlled you as a person through food was if you got a disciplinary, and let's say, you know, and let me tell y'all something. Yes, there are disciplinaries that, you know, I earned, I did it, whatever, but there were also disciplinaries where the officer was not being on the up and up. I have several disrespects because I would just walk away, I wouldn't engage, it wasn't mine to participate in, and then I would get written up like supposedly telling the CO to F off. It was insane. And they knew that that would take away all my privileges. So one of the biggest privileges that it did take away is canteen. My capabilities to be able to purchase with my money the food that was in the store. So another way, and I'm telling you, I remember, and it's so crazy that I remember these things, but I remember for me personally, thinking, oh shoot, I don't want to get a disciplinary on a Monday because I get to shop. You know, I mean, it was just like, I even planned out sometimes like certain things that I would do that was against the rules. So I wouldn't go to solitary confinement if I wanted to shop for the canteen that day. So it was a big way to control people, you know, and I remember other people saying, man, I don't want to go to jail because I don't want to lose my canteen privileges. You know, being able to shop for food that you actually enjoy and your body enjoys was a big freaking deal in there. It was a big privilege to us. And I was sitting there, and again, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, my God, they had a lot of control over the masses with the ability to take the food or, you know, let you have it. And so I was thinking about these food shortages and just like, you know, I don't know what's going on. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I can tell you where I live currently, I'm not seeing a food shortage. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of food growth going on from families. They're selling them, you know, food, coconuts on the street, coconut water. You know, it's the way of life here where I live. And I often say, you know, one of the things that I feel like they should have taught us in school was actually horticulture. They should have taught us how to grow our own food. That gives us independence. So, you know, for Bill Gates, you know, and I just read this online. I've been learning a little bit because I've been wanting to teach myself about like what's going on. You know, I may not be living there right now, but I truly, sincerely care about the people that live in other countries. And of course, you know, one of them is America because that's where I was born and raised at. Although my heart is with another country, I'm super happy where I'm at, but it doesn't keep me from being concerned and have love for people that are living in a situation where they're saying there's food shortages. It's concerning to me. So I did my due diligence, did a little research, and discovered that, you know, wow, shocker, Bill Gates owns quite a bit of the farmland acreage. 268,000 is what I read online. It could be more, who knows? You know, that guy has a lot of money. I'm sure he can hide a lot of things. So that's what is publicly told. It's in 19 different states. And then I found a woman from, her name is Valandra, and I might be saying her name wrong. She's an Indian woman, and she was actually talking about the GMOs, and like, oh, it's just insane. And I firmly believe that if you want to know what's going on, to do your due diligence and find the people like I found that are actually teaching me on what's going on, because Bill Gates did try to take majority of the land in India. Let her have that. She's the expert. I'm just telling you to do your due diligence and do your research. There's no reason why there should be a food shortage. If there's land to grow food, then everybody should have the capabilities to grow food in their backyard. Why are you not doing that? Why am I not doing that? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have that conversation with my roommate. I definitely wanna start growing food. I think it'll be a great experience and it'll be good for us to learn something new. So with all my hope healers and hope dealers, I love all of y'all. You know, I want everybody to have hope in the fact that you actually have control over your own life. And if you feel fear, first of all, face everything and rise. And second of all, you do have the capabilities to do something about it. Grow a small garden. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grow a small little garden. Grow a small garden. That gives you a sense of control over your food. And then expand as you go. You know, you learn how to grow tomatoes first, and then you expand into, you know, growing watermelons, and then you expand into, you know, it really is worth learning how to grow your own food to have that sense of independence. And there's nothing kooky, there's nothing wrong with it. I firmly believe that it is our right to have food growing in our own backyard. So with that being said, there's so much hope out there, and I believe in every single person that you have control over your food growth and your independence. You may not be able to have cows in your backyard, but I can guarantee there's a farm down the street. Go have a conversation with them. You know, see if you can work out a deal. There's a thing called Miller's Farm. Honestly, they have a membership where you're truly buying organic. It's Miller's Farm, sincerely organic food. They even have videos about how the cow is just a beautiful farm. And actually the feds just rated it. I would strongly recommend doing your research on that as well. You know, there's no reason why the feds rated it. It's just a mess, you know, but again, here's where action comes into play on your side. Do your research, do your due diligence, and also do your research and put it into action about growing your own food. I believe in you, and I believe in me too, and I'm excited to start my own little farm. I'm gonna grow tomatoes and jalapenos, and I'm gonna, you know, see what I can drum up, and I will put it on a video when the fruit of my labor starts coming up. I love all y'all. Have a really good day. And I'm about to go to an amazing restaurant that has 5 stars. Bye, y'all. Thanks.